It's the pizza party. To the pizza party here on Off-Shores. First up in news, a big story here. Mixtape's announced yesterday they're going on hiatus, and unless you're Blink-182 or Fall Out Boy, that just basically is a fancy word for breaking up because something went incredibly wrong in the chemistry of your band. I'm sure it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact Ryan Rockwell made that sexual assault joke, and, you know, they just have Mara Weaver in the band. Not like there's a woman in the band or anything who might take offense to something like that, but they announced they're going on hiatus, and they say there's no hard feelings and they want to play together as mixtapes again someday, but we'll have to see how that goes. So basically, Ryan rock well, but Ryan don't rock well with others. On Hannah Batty, the 15-year-old who went missing after the July 4th date of Warped Tour in Toronto, Ontario, has finally been located. Huge shout out to everyone on the internet who worked so hard. I guess we didn't really work hard, but saw it and reblogged it, retweeted it, did whatever. Kevin Lyman from Warped tweeted a thank you message directed to the Warped Tour community who worked so hard to find her. Not much has been released about exactly what happened, but yesterday, I guess sometime yesterday afternoon, they located Hannah Batty, the 15-year-old. She was last seen wearing a Ghost Town t-shirt and had blue hair. Probably was wearing some Vans too. And luckily they found her, so that's good. Moving on to releases, it's been announced Tiny Moving Parts is going to be releasing a new album on September 9th through Triple Crown Records. Triple Crown has just been sweeping the floor with releases lately. They picked up Foxing, they picked up Into It Over It, they picked up Fireworks, they've picked up a lot of good bands, and now they have Tiny Moving Parts, and they're going to be releasing Pleasant Living on September 9th through 3 Crown. They started streaming a new song yesterday from the record called Always Focused, and if you liked what Tiny Moving Parts did before, you will love Always Focused. It's really mathy, it's emo, it reminds me a lot of a Terra Mellos song, and I'm sure the dudes in TMP have listened to a lot of Terra Mellos. I found out about them when I was like 16, and I was going through this whole weird prog math rock phase, and it's just really cool. It's like Old Grey, if Old Grey didn't suck. Coming out through Triple Crown Records, we have a new album from Indian Lakes. Absent Sounds will be released on October 7th. Absent Sounds, more like sounds absent from my life. This band is so good. They haven't put out an album since 2012. I mean, I'm just ready for some more from Indian Lakes. They released Able Bodies back in 2012, but I actually preferred The Man with Wooden Legs because it was this weird dancey indie hipster music with a hint of emo. It's going to be really cool, and I think people will be much more receptive to their music this time around. I think we're ready for it. I think we are. Taking a look at some Off-Shores.net related news, Census Fail is out on a 10-year reunion tour for Let It Unfold You right now. Huge album to me. I still listen to that album. I still think it's good. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I don't wear enough eyeliner to listen to that record, but I still like it, and I liked it a lot when I was like 14 too. So within the next few days, you can expect a impressions write-up from yours truly. It's one of my favorite records from my junior high years, and it's still good. It's still good, and Census Fail is still a good band, so I wish I could go see that. But we're going to have a little celebratory write-up, so stick around for that. Handguns. They released a stellar new album. Life Lessons came out this week from Pure Noise Records, and let me tell you, it is easily the best Handguns record yet. They released Don't Bite Your Tongue back in 2011, and don't get me wrong, that was okay. It was generic, and then they released Angst back in 2012, and I personally did not like that, but Life Lessons is a super cool record. They've gone through a ton of membership changes too since they first started. There's some jams on this record too. I'm talking Heart vs. Head, Loved Ones Who Hate Us, and Waiting for Your Ghost. Some really cool songs on the record. It's just so full of energy and drive, which we don't get from a lot of pop punk anymore, because now everyone's trying to be emo or trying to sound like something they're just not. And while this album isn't anything we haven't heard before, it's good. It's just really good. That's all I can say about it. It's catchy. It has force behind it. Nothing about this album, well, nothing about this album is slow paced. It's all energized, and I think that's really cool, and I admire Handguns for that. I mean, I would kill to see this band live now, just because this is some of the most exciting music I've heard since Set Your Goals was still good. Really. So I'm really excited for Handguns, and I'm proud of them. Shout out to you guys. Really, thank you for providing us with such a great record. I think I'm gonna end up doing a review of it too, just because it's burned to a CD in my car stereo right now. Driving with the windows down, it's just jams. They don't recreate the wheel by any means, but I can't stop rambling. It's just a solid record, and I hope you guys check it out too. Give it a chance. If you like Man Overboard, All Time Low, State Champs, any pop punk, there's no reason you shouldn't like Handguns, just because these guys are the kingpin of pop punk at this moment, for me anyways. Also out yesterday, or actually on Tuesday, was Aaron West's and the Roaring Twenties' first album. If you didn't know, that's Soupy from the Wonder Years, Aaron West and the Roaring Twenties. We don't have each other, and I've heard a few tracks from it. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet, just because I know it's going to be good, and I'm honestly not that prepared to get sad yet. Really, it's going to be sad. He hits me right here. Soupy. They need to make Heart Healthy Soupy, because it makes me so sad. I just can't listen to it yet. I'm not ready to get that sad. We have some more news. Real Friends, they are releasing Maybe This Place Is the Same and We're Just Changing, I believe on the 28th of this month. So I'm really excited to hear that record. That'll be really cool. I love me some Real Friends. They released a new track last week called I Don't Love You Anymore, and it's a pretty solid song. I'm excited to hear the whole record in context, because I just like Real Friends. I like their sound, I like their honesty, I like their youth. I mean, everyone's always complaining. It's like, oh, these bands write songs that are just ridiculous. I don't get why these songs are so lame and immature. And it's like, these dudes are only like 22, 23, 24. They don't need to be writing songs about things. I mean, who wants to hear songs about some guy working on his 401k? Is that what you'd rather hear? Really? So, yeah, maybe they sing about friends. Maybe they sing about girlfriends, but I'd rather them sing about their real friends than sing about their pension. Their dad is really cool too. If you haven't been paying attention, follow Real Friends on Instagram. Follow Real Friends on Instagram. They post hilarious videos of them hanging out with their dad, who is their driver on tour. I think it's Kyle's dad, and the dude is just ridiculous, and they have a lot of fun. So if you're looking for some entertainment, like while you're on the toilet or doing everyday tasks like driving down the highway, get on Instagram and watch those videos. This week on Off-Shores, we have a bunch of exciting stuff that has been coming through this week. Let me just go down the line here. We have a few great features. There's this really killer band I found on Bandcamp. Their name is Thieves, and they are from Austin, Texas, and they have an EP out called Color Change. And I recommend listening to that, because it's pretty solid. It's pretty good. I really enjoy it. It's available on their Bandcamp. It's available on Spotify. I highly recommend listening to it, just because pop punk is a diluted scene, don't get me wrong, but they're just good. I like it. It's like the Handguns record. It's fun, it's feel good, and these guys are progressive too. I would lump these guys more in the pop punk scene on the All Time Low side of things rather than the knuckle puck side of things, and that's okay with me. So check it out. Color Change from Thieves, Austin, Texas pop punk. It's really cool to hate on pop punk right now, just because, let's face it, we all look like this. But I ain't mad at it. No Tide, Lincoln, Nebraska pop punk, has released a new video for Where We Went Wrong, the hit single off their new EP entitled Daydream. They're currently signed to Take This to Heart Records, and these guys are just good. They're really good. They're indie rock with a little bit of pop punk, and I highly recommend listening to them too. They're a great band from a great scene, from a great state, central Nebraska, eastern Nebraska, everywhere Nebraska. They're just really good about their music there, and these guys have worked really hard to get where they're at, and they're finally starting to get the attention they deserve. So I'd recommend checking out the music video for Where We Went Wrong from Noatide, and you could find that on Off-Shores.net. Also, head on over to Off-Shores.net for some more content. I recently posted reviews this week for the Rose EP from the Front Bottoms. That's really cool, so check that out. And I also have a review posted for Grandview's Everything Between Paint and a Wall, and they're a band from Burlington, Massachusetts. Highly recommend checking out Everything Between Paint and a Wall. That record is so cool. Really cool lyrics, really cool instrumentals, cool all around. It's a great record, and it is only $5 on their Bandcamp page right now. Check it out.